I only have 10 minutes to talk about these 3 vintage collection figures, so I'm going to try to keep it short, sweet, and to the point. 2 of these are absolutely fantastic, and one of them is just an obligation because it's a new mold and we needed an articulated version of him. So let's just get him out of the way first. Director Krennic. I am very happy we do have an articulated TVC figure of Krennic now. I mean, we needed him. It's Director Krennic, but it's still just a very obligated reuse of a mold we have already seen several times in TVC already. It does have the new style card back, though, which is very interesting. This wave also did have Revan and Pre-Vizsla, but I also did cover them in their own videos because they were just a little bit more special. So, Director Krennic here, he has a very, very nice likeness to Ben Mendelsohn. It's Ben Mendelsohn. He has a new cape piece, which is, a fabric, but plastic. I think it works pretty well. Especially for Krennic, he's not very dynamic, so I think it looks good. It looks the part. But everything underneath is just the officer body we are already very familiar with. He does have a new belt piece, because he does have his cross-draw holster for his unique gun. But interestingly, he doesn't have enough articulation to really cross it over, but still, it's not too bad. It is a very nice figure overall. It's just Director Krennic with the new TVC mold. I noticed his neck is a little high up. I don't really know why. Maybe for the cape. We really need to see a new vintage collection Tarkin out of this mold, in my opinion. Tarkin's one of the last officers I think we really need. And then Hasbro needs to take a bit of a break, because they have been giving us so many Imperial officers lately. It's a nice Krennic, man. I don't know what to tell you. There really isn't too much else to say. It's the same mold we have already seen with Piet, with Jared, with that officer multi-pack I didn't even bother getting. It's the same officer body. It looks good, though. I mean, like I said, the head sculpt is good. That's Ben Mendelsohn. I like it. It's just Director Krennic. Alrighty, we're done talking about him. There really isn't much to say. Let's move on to Hera, because this Hera figure is very, very nice. So the card back is a very nice picture. I really think it's a good picture of Hera. I really enjoyed Hera's portrayal in Ahsoka. I thought it was very cool. And I always blank on the actress's name, but I always think it's very interesting that she is actually, the actress is the husband of Ewan McGregor. So I always think it's very funny. Ewan McGregor's had both his uncle and now his wife appear in Star Wars. It's very interesting. If you don't know, his uncle was Wedge Antilles, the actor for him. So this Hera is very, very nice. The likeness is absolutely superb to the actress whose name I always forget. And you don't have to tell me in the comments. I have Google too. I also have Google. The detail's really nice. I love the goggles. Again, the head sculpt is just really good. That's the actress right there. Looks really good. I love the General Rebel insignia right there. Has the Phoenix Squadron logo. It looks really good. I do love how they had to keep her with, like, the orange pants. I feel like that's just so iconic for Hera. Like, if she doesn't have the orange pants, you can't tell it's Hera. She has a very nicely painted little blaster. I think it's very nice. I was really surprised to see that little bit of paint on there. The articulation on this figure is also really good. It's one of those new vintage collection figures that just feels really nice. One of my favorite joints is like this ball joint at the torso. It doesn't have too much rock, but it has enough. It just has just enough. You can get her in nice kneeling poses, as you saw her like kneeling with Chopper. It's just overall a really nice figure. I just enjoy it. Oh yeah, back here too. She has that really nice insignia on the back of her jacket. And I just think Hera with like a bomber jacket looks really cool. This is by far my favorite look for Hera. It's just so nice. But yeah, you can pretty much see all the articulation. It's modern day vintage collection. It's good. It's nicely done. I just really like this figure. I don't know what else to tell you. However, I was very shocked that I think the best figure out of these 3, best figure out of the wave in my opinion is Pre-Vizsla, but my favorite figure out of these 3 is definitely Chopper. A very nice picture of Chopper right there. Again, it's Chopper. We all love Chopper. I know some people don't, though. Some people are like, oh, Chopper's the worst character ever. I think he's funny. Especially in Ahsoka. I feel like you could really tell like what he was trying to say. So Chopper here actually comes with some accessories, which I really appreciate. So number 1, he has like the little tracking device that you can actually put in one of his little hands. And I think that's really cool. I really do appreciate that. He does have an alternate radar dish piece. So you can see, you can rotate it too if you want. And I like this one more because it looks more dynamic. But you can remove that and just place it with the more standard, chill one. I do love how Chopper's design is based off of concept art R2-D2. I really like that. I think you can remove the wheel as well. Yeah, if you don't want that wheel in there, you can remove the wheel. And the wheel spins, too. It spins. The only other chopper I have is the old Rebels 5 POA one, and it doesn't even compare to this. It genuinely just doesn't even compare. I didn't even bother grabbing it, because like I said, it doesn't even compare. I love the little hose right here. I think that hose is nice. The paint on it is just so good. Does that arm flip out too? It does! I forgot. He's got that little arm too. Oh, that's so cool. Definitely the best feature of this figure, without a doubt, is the ball-jointed dome. That is so good. It's so expressive, because, I mean, Chopper, his dome is, like, loose. It's always bobbling around. It's always very expressive. And the fact that they actually put it on a ball joint for this TVC one, it just shows that, like, vintage collection figures... I know that the Black Series Chopper came out a little while ago, and it's not, you know, as advanced. This one's kind of learned from that Black Series one, and they decided to add the ball joint. But still, they've released a new Chopper for Black Series for Ahsoka. And they could have modified it to have the ball joint, and they didn't. They could have, but they didn't. They literally could have just taken this digital sculpt and just upscaled it for Black Series. And again, I will reiterate, they didn't. This is a very good chopper. I also missed out on that Droid Factory one that came out quite some time ago, and I always felt bad about that. I'm like, oh man, I don't really have a good chopper, but now I do, and it's really nice. This mold is also getting a re-release in that, like, mural card back 2-pack with Sabine in that very overpriced 2-pack. I don't think I'm going to worry about that. I'm not the biggest fan of the Rebels cartoon. I did not back the Ghost. I'm not worried about it. But I'm very happy to get, like, the Rebels cast in their Ahsoka forms. And this chopper is definitely a favorite of mine. So that's pretty much it. I'm sorry I didn't really compare them to their old, like, 5 POA versions. Truth be told, I just really didn't feel like it. These ones are definitely upgrades, for sure. They're absolutely upgrades. Like, why compare it to the old 5 POA one when we know that this one's so much better? The old Krennic did look nice, but again, it was just 5 POA, and it just kind of stood there. So now we have a Krennic that can stand there and point his gun naturally, so that's nice. Hera is definitely an amazing figure, but I think the standout here is Chopper, for sure. This was overall a very solid wave of TVC. The weakest figure by far is Krennic. There was also the R5. I didn't bother with that. I've got plenty of R5s. I had an extra one. They just released it so there was an R5 to go with the N1. I personally think that R5 just should have been included with the N1 anyway, but hey, it's just Hasbro trying to squeeze a little bit extra money out of you. It is what it is. But still, you know, there is also the R5 from this wave. We can't see everything else on the back of the card back anymore. It's always weird to me that they changed it back. I really don't understand why they did that. But overall, this was a pretty solid wave of TVC. Check out my other videos on Pre-Vizsla. That was an old versus new, as well as Darth Revan. That was an old versus new, if you want to get better looks at those figures. I just want to make this quick. Again, I kind of have the philosophy of there really isn't too much to say with Vintage Collection. What you see is what you get. Their articulation is nice. They're just nice figures, man. If you like them, pick them up. That's all I got to say. You really do get what you pay for with TVC. They're pretty good overall. They could be cheaper. They could be a little cheaper, but they're still really good. I just hope they don't go up to $20. If they go up to $20, give us like a plastic clamshell like VOTC. Give us a display base with each one. If you're going to raise the price, you got to raise the expectation just a little bit. You can't be constantly raising the price without raising the bar. But at least like modern TVC compared to old TVC, like these figures are a lot better than the ones that came out in 2010. Like they are better. They are more expensive, but they are better. So I will give Hasbro that. Alrighty, guys, I've rambled on long enough. It's about 10 minutes. I made it. Woohoo. Let me know what you think. Should I kind of keep TVC videos like this around 10 minutes? Should I keep them longer? Do you feel like you got enough look at the figure? Just let me know down in the comments. Special shout out to channel members, as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.